I am going to be honest, the only thing I can recollect from Willow's music career is Whip My Hair, which was a song I heard pretty prevalently back in like elementary school. And that's not meant to be a jab at Willow or saying that her music is so insignificant that it's not even worth hearing. It is to contextualize the fact that I am very out of touch regarding her musical trajectory. So with that being said, I was going into this album completely fresh, devoid of any prior knowledge or expectations aside from Whip My Hair. And I didn't anticipate hearing the retrofitted like pop punk emo sounds of the early 2000s. There's a lot of vestiges and influences of Paramore, Yeah Yeah Yeahs, and Avril Lavigne, who's actually featured on the album. The opening, Transparent Soul with Travis Barker, at first I will admit I didn't like all that much, but subsequent listens have really made the track grow on me. I really like how Willow's vocals kind of fluctuate on the chorus like a tidal wave. However, after the opener, the album's middle ground is really forgettable to me, mostly because a lot of these songs slash skits are super short, underhanded, and also have the weakest performances back to back to back to back. Gaslight and Don't Save Me barely sustain anything memorable and have some pretty weak vocal performances if you ask me. Naive, while I do like the idea of the track with Willow understanding her naivety towards more pressing issues in the world, the vocals on this track are like really raw, and not raw in the way of anything expressive or contextual, more raw in the meaning that the vocal mixing, backings, and layerings are just out of sync. They're not very well calibrated. But the album does get on a bit of a hot streak with the song Lipstick, which is a lo-fi jam. A lot of the elements on the track are buried beside each other and blend together pretty nicely. The rawness I was talking about earlier with Naive is actually well displayed here. Same with the following, Come Home, which is my favorite track on here. The vocal delivery embodies that feeling of like this outcry from loneliness, and the hook is so good. Forever is a bittersweet track about a relationship not lasting forever and that both parties knew it wouldn't. The tenderness on this track is comforting yet melancholic at the same time. Definitely one of the more emotionally potent moments on the album. Tierra Whack gives a great feature on XTRA, which is sonically very reminiscent of those like rap slash pop punk hybrids. And looking back, most of them from that era were pretty terrible, but I think it's pulled off well here. Grow with Avril Lavigne is pretty much just a throwback Avril Lavigne song. The two just replicate verses and hooks here, but I just can't resist that early 2000s pop punk goodness. And the closing song with Cherry Glazer is quite underwhelming to me, despite how bombastic it is in presentation. There are no shortages of power chords and high-flying vocals, but at like 2 minutes long, it's unjustly compact, and it's also a pretty unceremonious way to end things off. Not to mention, to my ears, I just think the combination of Willow and Cherry Glazer is kind of awkward. The two just don't mix very well. But overall, I thought it was enjoyable. The project is only 26 minutes long, so I appreciate the brevity, but that did work against its favor a handful of times, which resulted in a lot of underdeveloped fluff, which clearly does not hold a candle to the more noticeably carefully constructed and produced songs. It is an inconsistent album and very rough on the edges at times, but I came to be more receptive to Willow's candidness, and I am interested to see where she goes from here. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down below, and I will see you on the next video. I'd give it a